welcome to Hitchhiking Stars YouTube channel. So what we're going to do today is the once a week video about a natal placement. So if you're learning astrology, if you're checking your chart, if you found out about your chart recently as well, this video is for you. Or if you already know about your chart, but you wanted to get some insights, some perhaps new ways of looking at it, or just exploring. I mean, astrology is such a great subject for us to keep exploring it and seeing. There's so many different dimensions and different ways of seeing something that is really valuable and worth it, really. So what we're going to talk about today, I thought about continuing with the lunar not transits, the lunar aspects. So we're going to talk about Moon Neptune. So if you have any Moon Neptune aspects, either the square, the conjunction, or the opposition in particular, but the trines and sextiles to a certain degree, as well as the minor aspects as well. I do have a quintile between my Moon and my Neptune, and quintiles are known as gifts as well, like some kind of skill that you have, some kind of secret gift. And according to Faya Koser, is a kind of a professional gift. You can use it professionally, you can apply it professionally. So I think personally, I have a little bit of an experience as well with the Moon Neptune. So Moon Neptune, I am talking about that aspect, especially because today, the 28th of December, we have a Moon conjunction Neptune. So here's the chart for the moment, and here's the Moon at 18 degrees, Pisces, and Neptune at 22. So I'm choosing to talk about natal aspects according to the transits because this is the flavor that's in the air. So I'm just kind of following that flavor in the air. This one in particular is extremely Neptunian / Piscean because they're in its own sign. So the Moon Neptune conjunction Pisces is almost like a double whammy of a Moon Neptune. So this may vary in your chart. You might have a Moon in Aries is squared Neptune in Capricorn, or you might have an opposition in different signs as well, Aquarius and Leo. So the flavors will be given by the sign of that configuration. But in general, what a Moon Neptune will be talking about is that motherhood has a connection with sacrifice first. So there's usually a story of the mother sacrificing a lot to become a mother, sacrificing their individuality to be a mother, to play the role of a mother. So there's usually a story of weeping and sacrificing and doing something for the child, So there could be a story of being a redeemer for your mother, of trying to redeem her and trying to do the things that she couldn't have done, because she had to sacrifice so much for you. So on one level, there's a little bit of that, because astrology is multivalent, like we talked, and I talk about that again and again and again, like it's such an important perspective to have when you're looking at charts. Nothing is just one thing. There are so many different layers to that configuration. And when it comes to the moon, it definitely does have something to do with the mother and how our mothers, how we experienced our mothers or the nurturing parent. If you've got, two dads, for example, but the most nourishing one, the one that will be playing the role of the moon, will be represented by the moon in your chart. So it definitely does have to do with that. But it also has to do with how you get your nourishment and your nourishment, what you need in order to feel nourished. So the Moon Neptune will give us clue about that too. And it will be telling something about a need to transcend, a need to go beyond reality, to go above the humdrum. I think Neptune usually adds that element into the personal planet that's touching it. So definitely spirituality, music, art, anything that has to do with transcendence will be something close to your heart or something that's needed in order to relax. So music can be very relaxing there. But also I think, solitude is one that I always think about when I think, when I talk to my clients that have a strong 12th house, a strong Neptunian chart. There's a real importance to solitude in their lives in particular, because the boundaries are so they're so thin. There is a capacity to feel what other people are feeling. That's a Moon Neptune there for you as well. It's so enhanced that you might feel confused about what your true feelings are. What do you actually feel, in that situation or around people? So the Moon Neptune really need tons of solitude as well in order to nourish and nurture, and to know how to set the boundaries, what kind of boundaries they need to set. A strongly Neptunian moon will have a tendency to be very impressionable as well. So, get very upset by violence or by something that's happening that's unpleasant around you. I think as well, because of the sensitivity that's connected with the Moon Neptune. So I really think that adding little techniques for decompressing is really important for a Moon Neptune individual. Regular time for self-expression, regular time for drawing or playing something or singing, regular time for walks in nature by yourself. Any of these ways that you can really decompress and recenter and not be so much enmeshed in other people's expectations of you or emotions or dramas even. The Moon Neptune individuals could have a tendency to want to save others. So be the savior is another that I really attribute to Neptune. And also other people confusing you. If you have an opposition, especially, between Neptune and the moon, that you might feel confused by others. Other people are elusive. They tend to be elusive. But really, when we have an opposition, is representing a tendency to project and give away a part of ourselves. So we're giving away that Neptune that we have ourselves. So the antidote for that is to make sure you're very clear about your needs. You're very clear about your wants, your needs, your emotional needs, or whatever it is that you need to share from your intimacy, from your intimate self, which will be represented by that moon. So make sure you bring the clarity. If you find oftentimes you're amidst other people's confusions, other people's dramas, well, make sure that you're very clear. And again, I think the clarity comes through solitude, through being by yourself, walking in nature, decompressing, meditating, is a wonderful placement for daily meditation. The moon is about our daily routines. The Moon Neptune will probably be very sensitive to diets as well. So be very careful about what diets you try and what you eat regularly as well, because that can affect you more strongly. Drugs would probably have a very strong effect as well if you have the Moon Neptune. And on the skill side, the Moon Neptune is extremely intuitive to pick up on people's needs. What are the needs of others? To understanding other people's emotions and needs for nourishment as well, which is the natural moon sort of significance. So that Moon Neptune definitely brings skills around that as well. But really important not to follow the steps of the sacrifice, the self-sacrifice, and the story of trying to redeem someone at the expense of your own needs as well when you have a Moon Neptune. But I do find that the skills are wonderful if you harness them by spending quality time on your own, having a lot of time by yourself to really ponder and feel your feelings and be aware of what's going on. And spiritual practices as well, I think, is a wonderful way of channeling that Moon Neptune. So this is the little pearl of the little flavor there, little pearl of wisdom there, if I may be so bold, and give you a little bit of food for thought there about the Moon Neptune. Now let me know, do you have a Moon Neptune in your chart? Where are they? Because the houses will be saying quite a lot about what the Moon Neptune is and how that Moon Neptune is experienced in your life. What kind of areas of your life tends to be colored by that Moon Neptune as well, and the signs as well will have a huge say as well about how that Moon Neptune plays out in your life, how it is felt, and what those needs specifically are as well. If it's a moon in water, if it's a moon in fire, we'll still have a lot of needs around self-expression. Whereas if it's a moon in air signs, it will be a lot about communication and needs around communicating and intellectual exchange as well. So let me know in the comments where is your Neptune and where is your moon as well? Are they interconnected in any way? And how does that play out in your life and your relationship with your mother, and with your relationship being a mother yourself as well, if you happen to be a mother or a parent? How do you nourish your child? Yeah, so this is me for today, like a short video. I'll be posting tomorrow a podcast video as well that I've done with Alejo Lopez again, a little catch up, little astrological catch up, and on Friday I will be posting our weekly forecast as well, so we can have a look at the New Year's Eve. How is that going to be? What's going to be happening in the sky, and what's the best we can do with that as well? So I'll see you all soon.